Hello. If you're joining me for the first time, welcome. Some of you have seen a couple of my videos, and for some of you this may be the first. So today I'd like to talk to you a little bit about building teams. You know, last time we talked, I talked about a key element of being a good leader, and that's to be a decisive leader. Today I'm going to shift topics slightly, and we're just going to talk about team building. All right, and I've got two pieces of advice for you on how to build more effective teams where you work. Now I realize, unlike me, you know, a lot of the team building I do is with Marines. Some of you are completely unfamiliar with the military, so what I'm going to try to do is just kind of strip the military and strip the Marine off this and just talk basic leadership, because that's kind of what we do as Marines. We do basic leadership. So two pieces of advice for you on how to build more effective teams, and it starts with number one, know people. Know your people. And how do you get to really know your people? I mean, how does that work? Well, it's pretty simple, actually. There's three easy ways that I get to know the people that I work around. The first way that I get to know the people I work around is just to listen. Listen to them. Now, some of you are saying, yeah, I listen to my people all the time. Well, what you probably do is hear your people all the time, and if you're like me and you have kids, you'll understand the difference between hearing and listening, because, you know, when you're on a long road trip and the kids are, you know, yelling from the back seat and talking really loud, and you're hearing them, you're hearing them plenty, but you're not really listening to what they're telling you. See, if we're not careful, we can do that at work too. We can hear what people are saying, but we don't really listen. We don't take time to really digest what it is that they're trying to communicate to us. So listen to your people. Be an active listener. You know, when someone tells you something, ask questions just to gain a deeper understanding of what it is that they're trying to communicate with you. Now, another way to get to know your people is to visit them. Now, this is going to sound a little crazy, but listen, just walk around. You know, in the business world, we call this leadership by walking around. Get up from your desk, go out to the shop floor, go visit people in their offices, go visit people in their cubicles. See where it is that they work, but when you do that, just look around at the stuff that they have. Now, if you look here behind me on the walls in my office, you'll see that I value being a Marine. You can see, you know, Marine Corps flags. Directly behind my head is a, you know, artist rendition of the Marines landing at Iwo Jima. So you see all kinds of things in here. You know what it is that I value. You know, if you could look fully around my office, you would see pictures of my kids. You would see all kinds of personal things from my life as well, and that really shows you what's important to me. So visit people where they work, and believe it or not, it'll tell you a lot about what's important to them. You'll see medals that folks win from running a local city marathon, or maybe the picture that Bob took of his fishing trip in the Gulf of Mexico and the trophy marlin that he caught. Hey, you'll see all kinds of things like that, and that will give you a better idea of who it is that your team members are when they're not at work. And you know, the third way that I get to know people is just spend time with them. Now, that may also seem silly, because you're going to say, well, yeah, I spend 8 to 10 hours a day, 5 or 6 days a week with them. Yes, you do. But there's a difference in being present and actually spending time with someone. Be deliberate about the amount of time you spend with someone. Take just 5 minutes a day to spend with a different one of your team members, and at the end of the month, you will have invested greatly in getting to know the individuals to your right and to your left that you work with. Now, there are some benefits to getting to know your folks. First benefit is increased communication. Once you get to know someone and you start talking to them, you guys will be able to communicate so much more effectively, and it's not just verbal communication, but it's that nonverbal communication that's so important to us. Now, when you increase communication, you will also increase the efficiency of your team. Think about it like this. If you and I were building a house and we spoke two different languages, how effective would we be at building that house? It wouldn't be great. If we spoke the same language, the efficiency is dramatically increased. Kind of the similar thing here. So increase communication and you'll increase the efficiency on your team. Now, if knowing your people is important to team building, the next one is just as important, and that's looking out for the welfare of your team members. Now, how do you do that? Well, that's kind of simple as well. First of all, find out what your team members need and then provide it. Now, a lot of times we confuse what team members need and what team members want. Sometimes we think happy and satisfied is the same thing. Not the case. Let me give you an example. I love donuts, right? I love chocolate donuts. I love cream-filled donuts. I like jelly-filled donuts. If you were trying to find out what I needed, a dozen donuts would probably be a poor choice, because while that would make me super happy, it would not be good for me, and it would certainly not be what I need. Now, if you wanted to know what I need, and we're talking about food, maybe show up with a nice steak or some chicken or some fish and maybe some greens. And dessert would be okay, but you know, the other things would be more along the lines of what I need. you need to provide what your folks need. Now, a lot of your team members, they need things like training, all right, training on processes, training on equipment. Some of them need mentorship. That means personal and professional guidance in life. Spend time with them doing that. But I'll tell you what, sometimes it can be as simple as material needs. You know, some of your folks can tell you exactly what they could use in making a process more efficient or a machine more efficient in their workspace. So sometimes their need is simply material, and that's okay too. But find out what it is and then provide it. Now, just like knowing your people has benefits, so does looking out for the welfare. The benefits to looking out for the welfare of your folks is it increases synergy. Now, what is synergy? Easy. Synergy is when 2 + 2 = 5. In other words, if Charlie can lift 100 pounds and Bill can lift 100 pounds, together Charlie and Bill can lift 250 pounds. That's what synergy is. And when you give people what they need and you listen to them and you communicate with them, you show them that you care about them. Now, here's the dangerous part. When you care about people, they will care about the organization. Well, that's when things really get great. Because when people know the organization cares about them and they care about the organization, you will be so much more effective. And guys, that's why the Marine Corps is such a great place, is because Marines care about the Marine Corps cares about Marines, and lo and behold, Marines will do anything for the Marine Corps, but more importantly, they'll do anything for each other. So I hope that one day your team can make that same claim, and I hope maybe in some small way this video will help you get there. So good luck with your teams. Semper Fidelis.